Welcome to our video, where we explore one of the most urgent issues facing our world today, the 10 most polluted cities on the planet. As urban areas expand and populations surge, many cities are struggling under the weight of pollution that impacts millions of lives daily. From thick layers of smog that hide the sun to air so toxic it affects every breath, the realities are both staggering and heartbreaking. But before starting the main content, if you find the channel useful and meaningful, please take a moment to register and support the channel to spread knowledge and passion for discovery together. Your companionship is a valuable source of motivation for us. God bless you. In this video, we'll take you through the cities that rank among the worst for air pollution. We'll uncover the key factors driving this crisis, whether it's relentless traffic, industrial emissions, construction dust, or poor waste management. Behind each polluted city are stories of people who face these challenges every day, with health and quality of life hanging in the balance. Understanding pollution's impact is critical because this issue extends far beyond individual cities. Poor air quality can cause devastating health problems, like chronic respiratory diseases, heart conditions, and even premature death. Children, the elderly, and vulnerable groups suffer the most. But in reality, no one is truly immune. On a broader scale, pollution fuels climate change, damages ecosystems, and threatens biodiversity, affecting the entire planet we all call home. But it's not all grim. In each of these cities, there are also stories of hope, resilience, and determination. Governments, communities, and individuals are stepping up to tackle pollution with innovative solutions and collective action. From cleaner public transport to tree planting campaigns and stricter emissions controls, the fight against pollution is underway, and we all have a role to play. Join us as we shed light on the challenges, explore the causes, and most importantly, discuss how we can combat this growing crisis. This is more than just a list. It's a call to action for a cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable future. Stay tuned for an eye-opening journey into the heart of urban pollution, where awareness, Delhi, the dynamic and culturally rich capital of India, stands as a stunning blend of tradition and modern progress. Yet beneath the city's lively exterior lies a somber challenge, the persistent menace of air pollution. The statistics revealing poor air quality barely scratch the surface, as the real crisis seeps into the daily lives, health, and hopes of over 30 million residents. The primary source of this challenge is the sheer volume of traffic choking the city's streets. Each day, millions of cars, buses, motorcycles, and auto rickshaws release a toxic cocktail of nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, and particulate matter into the atmosphere. These emissions form a dense, gray shroud that dims the sunlight and infiltrates the lungs of everyone who calls Delhi home. For them, breathing feels like inhaling the residue of several cigarettes a day. Adding fuel to the fire are the industrial belts surrounding the city. Factories continuously spew out harmful chemicals and fine dust, further deteriorating air quality. As if this weren't enough, Delhi's pollution problem worsens dramatically in the autumn months. Farmers in neighboring states like Punjab and Haryana burn crop stubble to clear their fields, and the resulting smoke travels to Delhi, merging with the urban smog to create a toxic haze that blankets the entire city. For the people of Delhi, pollution isn't a distant concern. It is a daily struggle for survival. Respiratory infections, chronic asthma, and heart diseases are rising at an alarming rate. Children, with their developing lungs, and the elderly, with their fragile health, suffer the most. It's heart-wrenching to see schools forced to close due to hazardous air, while hospitals overflow with patients gasping for relief from pollution-induced ailments. In response to this mounting crisis, Delhi's government has initiated several measures. The odd-even license plate scheme was introduced to reduce vehicle congestion by allowing only specific cars on the road each day, depending on their license number. Efforts to boost the adoption of electric vehicles, tighten industrial pollution controls, and expand investments in public transportation show promise. However, these actions often seem like a small bucket trying to empty a vast ocean of pollutants. In response to this mounting crisis, Delhi's government has initiated several measures. The odd-even license plate scheme was introduced to reduce vehicle congestion by allowing only specific cars on the road each day, depending on their license number. Efforts to boost the adoption of electric vehicles, tighten industrial pollution controls, and expand investments in public transportation show promise. However, these actions often seem like a small bucket trying to empty a vast ocean of pollutants. Delhi may currently wear a cloak of smog, but its spirit of resilience and innovation is undeniable. With determination, creativity, and unity, the city can reclaim its clear blue skies. In this fight for cleaner air lies a greater aspiration, the hope for a healthier, more vibrant future for generations to come. Beijing, the bustling and historic capital of China, stands as a city of vibrant culture and relentless growth. Yet, beneath its impressive skyline and ancient landmarks lies a severe environmental challenge, a pollution crisis that has captured global concern. The air quality in Beijing often teeters on the edge of hazardous, and the root of this problem largely stems from the city's reliance on coal and rapid urbanization. For decades, coal burning has served as a cornerstone of Beijing's energy supply, fueling everything from household heating to industrial operations. However, the cost of this dependence is immense. When coal is burned, it releases substantial amounts of sulfur dioxide and fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, into the atmosphere. These invisible pollutants form a dense smog that can blanket the entire city, turning once clear skies into a suffocating gray haze. To make matters worse, Beijing's rapid urban development, filled with constant construction and expanding infrastructure, generates clouds of dust and additional emissions that further degrade the air quality. Faced with these critical challenges, the Chinese government has initiated a series of ambitious measures to mitigate pollution. One significant step has been the transition from coal to cleaner energy sources like natural gas and renewable energy. In addition, stricter emissions standards for vehicles have been enforced to limit harmful exhaust. Residents are also encouraged to embrace the city's robust public transportation system, which reduces the number of cars on the road. Beyond these technical solutions, Beijing has invested heavily in expanding green spaces. New parks, gardens, and tree-lined streets are designed to act as natural air purifiers, offering cleaner and healthier environments for citizens. Despite these efforts, the data remains sobering. The city's air quality index, AQI, frequently surpasses 200, a level classified as unhealthy. On such days, the air becomes visibly thick, and breathing without protective masks can feel arduous. The consequences for public health are serious. Numerous studies have linked prolonged exposure to polluted air with a rise in respiratory illnesses like asthma, chronic bronchitis, and even lung cancer. Heart diseases are also more prevalent, and life expectancy for Beijing's residents is measurably impacted. Vulnerable populations, such as children and the elderly, face the highest risks. However, Beijing's story is also one of resilience and determination. Each cleaner energy initiative, each newly planted tree, and each policy aimed at protecting the environment brings the city a step closer to clearer skies. The road to solving Beijing's pollution crisis is challenging, but the city's commitment to a healthier, more sustainable future remains unwavering. The hope is that, one day, Beijing will thrive under skies as clear and bright as its cultural heritage deserves. Lahore, the vibrant cultural and historical heart of Pakistan, is a city that pulses with energy, tradition, and life. However, beneath its rich heritage and bustling streets lies an escalating environmental crisis that threatens the well-being of its residents. The city's air pollution problem has reached alarming levels, with multiple factors contributing to this hazardous situation. One of the primary culprits is the ever-increasing traffic congestion. As Lahore's population grows rapidly, so does the number of vehicles on its roads. Buses, cars, motorbikes, and rickshaws emit vast quantities of exhaust fumes containing harmful gases like carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter. This vehicular pollution is a constant presence, seeping into the daily lives of Lahoris and diminishing the quality of the air they breathe. Industrial emissions further exacerbate the problem. Lahore's surroundings are dotted with factories and brick kilns that release heavy pollutants, including sulfur dioxide and fine particles. These industries, often lacking modern filtration systems, contribute significantly to the city's deteriorating air quality. Smoke and ash from these kilns frequently drift over residential areas, adding to the toxic mix hanging over the city. Seasonal changes also play a crucial role in Lahore's pollution crisis. In the winter months, temperature inversions trap pollutants close to the ground. Instead of rising and dispersing, these pollutants remain suspended in the lower atmosphere, forming a dense, choking smog that blankets the city. The smog is so thick at times that visibility drops drastically, and the sun becomes a faint, distant glow. This phenomenon heightens respiratory ailments, especially among children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing health conditions. Faced with these challenges, a wave of community-led efforts has risen to tackle the crisis. Local organizations, activists, and concerned citizens are stepping up to address the issue. Through awareness campaigns, educational workshops, and public demonstrations, they are working to inform residents about the dangers of air pollution and the steps they can take to mitigate its impact. These grassroots movements emphasize the importance of cleaner practices, such as reducing vehicle usage, adopting energy-efficient technologies, and supporting regulations for greener industries. While the road to cleaner air in Lahore is long and arduous, these community-driven initiatives offer a beacon of hope. They highlight the power of collective action and the potential for meaningful change when people come together for a shared cause. With increased awareness, stricter policies, and active participation from both the government and citizens, Lahore can aspire to a future where its air is as clear and refreshing as its cultural spirit. Dhaka, the sprawling and dynamic capital of Bangladesh, stands as a symbol of rapid urban progress. However, alongside its breakneck development, the city also grapples with an escalating pollution crisis that threatens the health and well-being of millions of residents. As one of the fastest-growing cities on the planet, Dhaka's challenges stem from the very factors that fuel its growth: surging population, relentless traffic, widespread construction, and booming industries. The city's streets are often choked with vehicles: buses, cars, rickshaws, and motorbikes, all emitting noxious fumes that fill the air with pollutants like carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, and fine particulate matter, PM 2.5. Adding to this is the dust kicked up from countless construction sites, where new buildings and infrastructure rise to accommodate the swelling population. Meanwhile, the city's industries, particularly textile factories and brick kilns, release massive amounts of smoke and chemical pollutants into the atmosphere, creating a toxic cocktail that hovers over the city like a shroud. This combination of pollution sources has dire consequences for public health. Many Dhaka residents suffer daily from respiratory illnesses such as asthma, bronchitis, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. The polluted air also heightens the risk of cardiovascular diseases, strokes, and even lung cancer. Children, whose lungs are still developing, and the elderly, who often have compromised immune systems, are particularly vulnerable to these health threats. For them, simply breathing the city's air can feel like an invisible hazard. The winter season worsens the situation, as cooler temperatures trap pollutants close to the ground, forming a dense smog that limits visibility and makes the air even more hazardous. On some days, the air quality reaches levels that are dangerous for everyone, not just the vulnerable, making face masks a necessity and outdoor activities a risk. Recognizing the urgency of the problem, various international aid programs and initiatives have stepped in to help Dhaka battle this crisis. These efforts include promoting cleaner technologies, such as electric or low-emission vehicles, and pushing for more stringent regulations on industrial emissions. Global organizations are also collaborating with the Bangladeshi government to support sustainable urban development and raise public awareness about pollution's dangers. Community-based education campaigns encourage residents to take part in reducing pollution, from using public transport to advocating for green spaces. While the challenges are immense, these initiatives offer a glimmer of hope. With combined efforts from the government, international partners, and the people of Dhaka themselves, a future where clean air is accessible to all is within reach. Dhaka's resilience and determination could transform its story from one of pollution to one of sustainable progress, ensuring that the city's vibrant spirit can thrive in a healthier, cleaner environment. Kolkata, the vibrant and historic capital of West Bengal, is a city where culture, heritage, and rapid urbanization coexist. However, this dynamic metropolis is facing a daunting pollution crisis that endangers public health and the environment. From congested streets to neglected waste systems, Kolkata's pollution issues are multifaceted and deeply entrenched. One of the primary drivers of pollution in Kolkata is vehicle emissions. The city's narrow, bustling roads are perpetually filled with cars, buses, and the iconic yellow taxis, all emitting harmful gases like carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter. Industrial pollution adds another layer of complexity. Factories, often located near residential areas, release toxic discharges into the air, soil, and water. The problem is compounded by inadequate waste management systems. The practice of open dumping and burning of waste, including plastic and other non-biodegradable materials, sends clouds of hazardous toxins into the atmosphere and contaminates the soil. This relentless pollution has far-reaching consequences. For the people of Kolkata, the air they breathe can feel suffocating, contributing to rising cases of respiratory diseases, heart problems, and other health issues. Children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing conditions suffer the most. Beyond human health, the natural environment is also bearing the brunt of this crisis. The Hooghly River, an essential waterway flowing through the city, is increasingly contaminated by industrial runoff and untreated sewage. This toxic pollution threatens fish, aquatic plants, and other riverine species, disrupting the delicate aquatic ecosystem. Birds and small wildlife are similarly vulnerable, as air and soil pollution degrade the urban green spaces they depend upon. Despite these challenges, hope persists in the form of community-driven initiatives and grassroots movements. Local organizations and environmental groups are leading the charge toward a cleaner Kolkata. Awareness campaigns are educating residents about the importance of sustainable practices, while tree planting drives are helping to create green lungs for the city. Initiatives promoting waste segregation and recycling are gaining momentum, encouraging households to reduce, reuse, and recycle. These collective efforts aim to instill a sense of environmental responsibility and empower citizens to be part of the solution. The path ahead is not easy, but the passion and resilience of Kolkata's residents offer a vision for a healthier future. Each small action, whether it's planting a tree, segregating waste, or choosing public transport, brings the city a step closer to reclaiming its air, water, and soil. Through persistent community engagement and support for sustainable policies, Kolkata can work toward a future where its rich cultural heritage thrives alongside a cleaner, greener environment. The city's spirit of endurance and collective action could transform it into a beacon of sustainable urban living for generations to come. Cairo, the bustling and historically rich capital of Egypt, is a city where ancient wonders and modern challenges collide. Amid the city's sprawling neighborhoods, grand mosques, and vibrant markets, a pollution crisis looms large, affecting both public health and the environment. Cairo's air pollution problem is driven primarily by traffic congestion, industrial emissions, and limited infrastructure, creating a complex issue that impacts millions of lives. The city's roads are often clogged, with millions of cars, buses, and taxis belching clouds of exhaust fumes. Cairo's infrastructure struggles to keep up with the growing number of vehicles, and its narrow streets often become bottlenecks. Public transportation options are limited, forcing many people to rely on private vehicles. This constant traffic creates harmful pollutants such as nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, and fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, which stay suspended in the air, creating dense smog. Beyond traffic, Cairo's industrial sector also contributes to the city's air quality woes. Factories located in and around the city discharge toxic substances into the atmosphere, including sulfur dioxide and other hazardous chemicals. These emissions combine with vehicular pollution, intensifying the city's already dire environmental conditions. The issue is further aggravated by the practice of burning agricultural waste, which adds another layer. The health consequences of this pollution crisis are severe. Many Cairenes suffer from respiratory illnesses such as asthma, chronic bronchitis, and even lung infections due to prolonged exposure to poor air quality. Cardiovascular diseases are also on the rise, linked to the city's toxic air. Children and the elderly are particularly vulnerable, often experiencing aggravated health complications that impact their quality of life. On days when pollution levels spike, simple activities like walking outside or commuting. In response to these escalating challenges, the Egyptian government has launched a series of initiatives to combat pollution and improve air quality. Efforts to expand and modernize public transportation aim to reduce the number of private vehicles on the road. Investments in metro lines, buses, and electric transport options are steps toward easing traffic congestion. Stricter emission standards for vehicles have also been enforced to reduce the release of harmful pollutants. Additionally, the government is encouraging the creation of green spaces, parks, tree-lined avenues, and urban gardens to help filter the air and provide residents with cleaner environments. These policies and initiatives are crucial for Cairo's fight against pollution. While the path to a cleaner and healthier city is filled with challenges, each effort contributes to a vision of a Cairo where the air is clearer and the quality of life is improved. The resilience of its people, combined with continued commitment to sustainable solutions, can transform Cairo into a city where its ancient legacy and modern aspirations coexist under brighter, healthier skies. Mumbai, often referred to as the City of Dreams, is a sprawling metropolis where ambition, culture, and industry converge. As India's financial capital, it pulsates with life and relentless growth. Yet, alongside its economic vibrancy, Mumbai struggles with a significant pollution crisis that impacts both the well-being of its residents and the city's thriving economy. One of the primary culprits behind Mumbai's air pollution is the constant wave of construction activities. The city, in its quest to expand and modernize, is an ever-evolving landscape of high-rise buildings, infrastructure projects, and new developments. The dust and fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, released from these construction sites swirl through the air, settling on streets, homes, and lungs. This continuous exposure to construction dust contributes significantly to respiratory issues and deteriorating air quality. Adding to this challenge is the relentless traffic congestion. Mumbai's roads are packed with millions of vehicles, taxis, buses, motorbikes, and private cars, all emitting exhaust fumes laden with pollutants like carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and hydrocarbons. The city's narrow, overburdened roads and frequent traffic jams exacerbate emissions, leading to dense smog that clouds the skyline and fills the air with toxins. Adding to this challenge is the relentless traffic congestion. Mumbai's roads are packed with millions of vehicles, taxis, buses, motorbikes, and private cars, all emitting exhaust fumes laden with pollutants like carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and hydrocarbons. The city's narrow, overburdened roads and frequent traffic jams exacerbate emissions, leading to dense smog that clouds the skyline and fills the air with toxins. Recognizing the urgency of these challenges, various NGOs have stepped up to combat pollution and push for a cleaner Mumbai. These organizations play a crucial role in raising public awareness through campaigns, educational programs, and community outreach. They promote sustainable practices such as reducing plastic use, adopting eco-friendly transportation, and proper waste management. NGOs are also vocal advocates for stricter emissions regulations and cleaner construction practices, working alongside local authorities to implement meaning. Initiatives such as tree planting drives, beach cleanups, and car-free days are slowly fostering a sense of environmental responsibility among Mumbaikars. These grassroots efforts, though modest, represent hope and determination in the face of OVI. Mumbai's journey to cleaner air and a healthier environment is a daunting one, but with continued efforts from NGOs, citizens, and policymakers, positive change is possible. The resilience, creativity, and spirit of Mumbai can lead the city to a future where its growth and development no longer come at the cost of its air and health. A Mumbai where the skies are clearer, the air is fresher, and the city of dreams is a beacon of sustainable urban living for generations to come. Manila, the vibrant and densely populated capital of the Philippines, is a city where history, culture, and modern life intertwine. Yet, beneath its dynamic energy and crowded streets, Manila is grappling with a pollution crisis that threatens the health of its people and the vitality of its environment. The rapid pace of urbanization, combined with inadequate waste management systems, has intensified this ongoing issue, casting a shadow over daily life for millions of residents. A key factor contributing to Manila's pollution problem is the relentless traffic congestion. The city's roads are often gridlocked with jeepneys, buses, motorcycles, and private vehicles, all emitting a steady stream of exhaust fumes filled with pollutants like carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter, PM 2.5. These harmful emissions create a hazy layer of smog that lingers over the city, particularly during peak hours. Industrial activity also plays a major role in deteriorating air quality. Factories and manufacturing plants discharge toxic chemicals into the atmosphere, and their proximity to residential areas increases exposure risks for the population. Additionally, the city's struggle with waste management further exacerbates the problem. In many areas, garbage is either dumped in open spaces or burned openly, releasing harmful toxins and contributing to both air and soil contamination. Plastics, in particular, when burned, emit hazardous chemicals that pose severe health risks. The consequences for public health are dire. Residents of Manila frequently experience respiratory conditions like asthma, chronic bronchitis, and other lung infections. Prolonged exposure to polluted air also increases the risk of cardiovascular diseases and other long-term illnesses. The most vulnerable groups, such as children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing conditions, bear the heaviest burden. For these individuals, merely stepping outside can lead to breathing difficulties and other health complications. Faced with these pressing challenges, the local government has taken steps to address pollution and improve environmental conditions. Initiatives have been launched to enhance waste management systems, such as more organized collection, recycling programs, and the development of proper waste disposal facilities. Authorities are also promoting the use of public transportation, including modernizing the city's iconic jeepneys to run on cleaner fuels or electricity. Stricter emission standards for vehicles are being enforced, aiming to reduce the volume of harmful pollutants released into the air. These efforts, while still in their early stages, are vital for Manila's journey toward a cleaner future. Community engagement and awareness campaigns are encouraging citizens to adopt more sustainable practices, such as reducing waste, recycling, and supporting green initiatives. Tree planting programs and the preservation of green spaces within the city are also helping to provide pockets of cleaner air and respite from pollution. Manila's fight against pollution is undoubtedly challenging, but with continued government action, community participation, and sustainable practices, the city can reclaim its air and improve the quality of life for its people. The resilience and determination of its residents, combined with effective policies, hold the promise of a future where Manila can thrive under clearer skies, preserving its rich cultural heritage and vibrant spirit for generations to come. Santiago, the vibrant capital of Chile, is a city of contrasts where modern urban life meets stunning natural landscapes. Surrounded by the majestic Andes Mountains, Santiago's picturesque setting is both a blessing and a challenge. This unique geographical location contributes significantly to Santiago lies nestled in a valley, which creates a natural basin that traps air pollutants. During the winter months, temperature inversions occur, where a layer of warm air above the city acts like a lid, preventing cooler, polluted air below from rising and dispersing. As a result, smog, a dense mixture of smoke and fog, builds up, shrouding the city in a gray haze. This phenomenon is intensified by emissions from a high number of vehicles, industrial plants, and wood. The consequences for public health are significant and deeply concerning. Many Santiago residents experience frequent respiratory issues such as asthma, bronchitis, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. Prolonged exposure to polluted air is also linked to cardiovascular diseases, reduced lung function, and an overall decline in life expectancy. Children, whose lungs are still developing, and the elderly, who often have weaker immune systems, are particularly vulnerable. For these groups, the air in Santiago can turn simple activities like walking or playing outdoors into potential health hazards. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, the Chilean government has taken proactive measures to combat pollution and protect public health. One major initiative has been promoting the use of public transportation to reduce the number of private vehicles on the road. Santiago's efficient metro system, expanded bus services, and bike-sharing programs offer alternatives to driving, helping to cut down emissions. Stricter regulations on vehicle emissions have also been enforced, with a push for newer, cleaner cars and limits on older, high-polluting vehicles. Additionally, the government has encouraged the transition to cleaner fuels, such as natural gas, and has introduced restrictions on wood-burning stoves, particularly during high-pollution days in winter. These efforts are yielding promising results. Air quality in Santiago has shown gradual improvement over recent years, providing hope for a healthier future. Public awareness campaigns have also played a role, educating residents on the importance of sustainable practices and their collective impact on the environment. While challenges remain, Santiago's journey toward cleaner air reflects a determined commitment to creating a healthier and more sustainable city. The combination of government policies, technological advancements, and public participation is helping to clear the smog and preserve the beauty of Santiago's mountain-framed skyline. With continued efforts, the people of Santiago can look forward to brighter days where the air is as crisp and invigorating as the snow-capped peaks that surround their city. Jakarta, the dynamic and ever-expanding capital of Indonesia, is a city where commerce, culture, and urban life converge. Yet, amid the hustle and bustle, Jakarta grapples with a pollution crisis that impacts both the health of its residents and the overall livability of the city. Heavy traffic congestion, industrial emissions, and inadequate infrastructure contribute to air quality that ranks among the poorest in Southeast Asia. With over 10 million residents and millions of vehicles on its streets, Jakarta's traffic is a constant source of pollution. Buses, cars, motorbikes, and trucks create daily traffic jams that produce clouds of exhaust laden with carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and fine particulate matter, PM 2.5. These pollutants linger in the air, forming a thick gray haze that obscures the skyline and seeps into homes, schools, and woe. Adding to the problem are the industrial activities scattered throughout the city and surrounding areas. Numerous factories, many of which lack modern filtration systems, release harmful chemicals and particulates into the atmosphere. This industrial pollution combines with vehicle emissions, worsening Jakarta's air quality and making clean air a scarce commodity. The burning of waste and biomass, often conducted openly, further compounds the issue by releasing toxic smoke into the environment. The health consequences are severe and widespread. Many residents suffer from chronic respiratory ailments such as asthma, bronchitis, and lung infections. Cardiovascular diseases are also on the rise, linked directly to long-term exposure to polluted air. The most vulnerable groups, including children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing conditions, are particularly at risk. For many Jakarta residents, poor air quality limits outdoor activities and diminishes their overall quality of life, making even a simple walk outside a potential health hazard. In response to this pressing crisis, both community organizations and the government are taking action to mitigate pollution and improve air quality. Grassroots groups and NGOs are working tirelessly to raise public awareness about the importance of sustainable living, advocating for practices such as waste reduction, tree planting, and the use of public transportation. These organizations also engage in educational campaigns to highlight the health risks of pollution and the collective steps needed to combat it. On a broader scale, the Indonesian government is implementing stricter vehicle emissions standards, encouraging the use of cleaner fuels, and investing in expanding Jakarta's public transportation network. Projects like the MRT Mass Rapid Transit System, additional bus rapid transit lines, and electric vehicle initiatives aim to reduce reliance on private cars and lower emissions. Efforts to modernize and regulate industries to adopt cleaner technologies are also underway, although progress remains gradual. These combined efforts represent a beacon of hope for Jakarta's future. While challenges persist, the determination of its citizens and the commitment of policymakers offer the potential for meaningful change. By embracing sustainable practices and investing in cleaner infrastructure, Jakarta can aspire to a future where its dynamic energy is matched by cleaner air and a healthier environment. The resilience of Jakarta's people, like the city itself, stands strong in the face of adversity, promising a brighter, clearer tomorrow for generations to come. In this video, we explored the alarming pollution levels in some of the world's most affected cities, including Delhi, Beijing, Lahore, and many others. We highlighted the key sources of pollution, such as vehicle emissions, industrial activities, and waste management issues, and discussed the serious health implications for residents. The importance of awareness regarding pollution in urban areas cannot be overstated, as understanding these challenges is the first step toward finding solutions. We encourage you, our viewers, to take action in your communities. Whether it's advocating for cleaner transportation options, participating in local cleanup efforts, or simply spreading awareness about pollution, every small effort counts. Together, we can make a difference in improving air quality and protecting public health. If you found this video informative, please subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it with your friends and family. Your support helps us create more content focused on environmental issues and solutions. Thank you for watching, and let's work together for a cleaner, healthier future.